by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? This is the Chris and Nina Real Estate Podcast. My name is Chris.
And I'm Nina. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, welcome. This is our first show. Welcome. We like to say hello to everyone. And Nina, how was your weekend?
My week was great. I'm thankful. I've been super busy with all these graduations going on. It's been quite a week. Thankful.
Okay.
Can't complain, but it's definitely a full schedule.
Yeah, I've been on track duty. My daughter just ran in the fastest girl race this past weekend, and it was a phenomenal experience. She met Shakari Richardson, I believe that's her name.
Cool.
Yeah, so she was super excited. I'm super excited. And guess what? We're here on our first podcast together.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are going to talk about making money. We're going to talk about home ownership. We're going to talk about renting. We're going to talk about buying. We're going to talk about selling. We're going to talk every step of the real estate process for folks that are interested in making a move within real estate.
Yes, that's right. And we are super excited. It's our first show tonight. We're looking forward to many more. And if you guys are really into specific subjects, feel free to either comment. If you see on the right side of the page, you have live comments, so feel free to do so, or even call in,
Yeah, Nina, I don't know about you, but I was so excited all week. I was like a kid. Like I had my clothing on the bed, just waiting for this day to podcast. And
you really want to talk about the clothing right now?
Listen, everyone, we did not plan to wear the same colors. I don't know.
No. So
yeah, it was just we showed up and we both have on blue today.
Yes.
Royal
blue.
Exactly. But hopefully when we're done, everyone will be seeing green.
Yes. So green it is. Money.
Yes, it is. Money. There's so many different ways to have money and make money and share money and do different deals within real estate with family, with friends, for yourself, for your children, create legacy. Yeah, I'm excited. I love real estate. What about you, Nina?
So I live real estate. My surrounding, my friends, my families, everyone is just real estate. Day to day it is, because you start your day off planning, and then you want that outcome to be the best in every way or form. So you want to put yourself that goal, and you find yourself in what you do most, which is what you love. And this is what I do love very much. I've been in it for quite some time. So real estate overall is a very big name to discuss, because it has so many different concepts under it. And then when it comes to, I do real estate, you fall under so many different categories that you really want to explain yourself and to show or help, or just simply to show your knowledge to the type of real estate that you really do like or happen to be doing now. Maybe you'll do something different in the future. So real estate is a big word. So
yes, it is. And I think what brings us together and why we are here podcasting is we love to help folks.
Yeah.
That's what introduced me into real estate. I don't necessarily come from a family of ownership, but now I'm creating my family to have ownership, to pass down the legacy and build on that. And what about you, Nina?
Yeah, I come from a real estate family. They started pretty late in the game. When we came to this country, we started off with something else. And then over the years, they started doing real estate. But yeah, most of my life, I did grow in a real estate family, and those who are overseas, my family members are also in real estate. One day we'll share and show what they do out there. Very similar, but overall, obviously different countries. But
What I love about real estate is I get to relive my first closing every time I work with someone new and they close a deal. It's just refreshing to watch new couples, new families achieve their goals of finding the house and moving into their house of their dreams. And then when the same couple go on to buy their second or third house and they call you, it's also exciting. And you get to redo that over and over and over because people are always going to buy homes. And then on the opposite end, you have people who are retiring and they no longer need that house because their kids. I can't tell you how many times I go into houses where the rooms are just like a storage facility because the kids moved on or moved away, and so they're ready to move in with their kids and sell the home that they raised their kids.
right.
So it's an awesome process to see the different dynamics of when people buy a home and when homeowners sell their home. And then also sometimes people buy their first home, their family grows exponentially, and then next thing you know, they're buying a bigger home.
Yeah.
So it's an awesome process. Nina, do you remember your first experience in real estate?
First experience in real estate, I started off doing rentals. I don't do so much of rentals nowadays, but I started off doing rentals out there in the city of Manhattan, our beautiful New York City. I was 18 when I started,
So
and
that was
that
like
was
5 years
really
ago?
my first. Thank you, but no. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. I was doing rentals when I was 18, running around, talking to management companies, showing apartments. When you're young and single, you have more time in your hands. So yeah, I've been schlepping between buildings and showing around. And then over time, I'm not going to say upgraded because I'm not belittling any type of real estate work. It's just that it depends on your schedule, on your environment and knowledge, experience, and really your day to day schedule where you know what your best interest is. So being 18, young and happy. No, I'm happy today too, thank God. But I'm saying being 18, you're much more free. You can work so many more hours. So rentals is my first experience.
So when I started, it was probably about 15 or 20 years ago, and I was I don't know, people that are not from New York. I started in East New York,
Nice.
which was really a different world. And
Wow.
I was mainly helping with something called short sales, but I was also mainly helping people to save their homes, to keep the banks from taking their homes and creating solutions to help those homeowners stay. But my first home for me, I bought with my wife, and we bought the home together. But I was the real estate agent, and she was the buyer. But we're both agents, and we didn't have childcare. So the house that we fell in love with, we had to bring our son. Everybody swears that my son looks like his mother. But on this day, the homeowner found it suspect that I was with my wife, but I didn't say she was my wife, nor because I was not. Now, let's be clear. This was not my listing. I was not his agent. I was my wife's agent. I did not have to disclose our relationship. This homeowner was acting as an agent, but he wasn't technically the agent. So it was kind of funny, but the house was beautiful. We loved it. So we gave a full offer above asking, and he accepted it. I don't know what happened between when we went into the house And Wednesday, he calls me back, declines my offer, says that we're running a scheme because I know that's your wife, because you look like your son, and I looked you up and I seen your wedding photos and everything. I said, wow, okay. I said, you know what, sir? In this market, it wasn't a seller's market. It wasn't, it was actually that time it was difficult to get into contract and get a full offer. So he turned down a full offer above asking, actually. And then a week later calls me and says, hey, you know what? I changed my mind. Can you, do you want to still give the offer? And I said, no, we found another house, but good luck to you. And that was
that was how many years ago?
Man, that was about 12. Yeah, carry the one. No, 12 years ago.
Okay, because 12 years ago, for a homeowner to act as an agent, that was the case?
Yep.
So the homeowner acted as his own agent, advertising the house.
Everything on MLS. Yes.
Wait, so MLS, he must have been an agent.
No, he had access through an agent who I never met.
Gotcha.
Because I called the agent, but I wind up getting the homeowner.
So on whose side the scheme is?
Exactly. He was accusing me of what he was doing, and then did research. And let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, when you're going in a deal and you're getting money, who cares who's related? As long as the banks, and he called my bank to see that we had money. Listen, as an agent, we protect you by doing the due diligence that you don't get any bogus offer. You understand? So this guy, it was foolish what he did.
Yeah.
Now it was a beautiful home. It eventually sold, right? But it was still listed when we moved into our house, which is actually a bigger home. It's just the area, we just went to a different area. That area was actually more quiet. Where we are is not as quiet, but it's still beautiful. And that's where we are now. And guess what, Nina?
What?
We're looking to buy again. So, we will be moving again and do the process all over again because our family has grown. Our kids are growing. So it's time to get a nicer home. And so that's what we're going to do.
Okay, in my opinion, everyone should own a home.
Yes, that's home ownership is for everyone. I believe that our government should give us real estate when you're born. That our families, every family should have their own. I mean, of course, that's in pie in the sky. You should
say opportunities, easier ways.
Yes,
to be able to own a home.
Yes, and pass it down to the next generation. But unfortunately, that'll never happen. But we can make it happen within the power that we have to buy, to shop for deals, to create opportunities for one another so that we can all our families own. Yeah. Because guess what? Right now, if you're paying rent, you're at the mercy of inflation. You're at the mercy. And even though when you buy a home, you get hit with it in the beginning, but over time, you can refinance, you can lower your interest rates, you can negotiate better terms. Yeah. You cannot do that with rent. You could try to negotiate on the next landlord or somewhere else, but if that landlord wants to raise your rent, you really don't have much choice.
Yeah, listen, renting is a whole other ballgame than owning a home. Everyone should own a home.
Yes.
It's not, obviously, it's not that easy, but when I compare, and I've been in places around the world, when you compare home ownership in America, and of course I know New York best, home ownership between America and the other countries, we don't need to name names, we get so much more opportunity of owning a house than other places. And it's not that you can't or don't want, you simply don't know. So you want to use and abuse your contacts, learning, asking, simply calling up and just figuring out what's there for you. You need to be able to know your options or prepare. Nothing happens overnight. If you know that your financials are needed to make a move, step up your game and go grab a second job. Again, nothing is so easy. I know some people have children, disabilities, anything for sure, but know how to work around.
You know what's the first step to home ownership?
Let's hear it.
Wanting to own a home.
Yeah.
Wanting to own a home,
That's
then you
right.
get the education, you figure out your finances, your budget. Then you start meeting with people who own homes.
Yeah.
You start meeting people who sell homes. You start interviewing people, and you go through the process to meet the right person that's going to take you from rental to ownership. When I bought with my wife, the first house, we didn't fall in love with this house. The first house was before my son, and we put money down, and then we learned a valuable lesson about money, about seasoned money, about when you take it out and put it back in, you have to re-season it. So it created a delay in that closing, and we didn't close on that house. And we took a financial loss because also when you buy a home, you're going to spend money on appraisals. You need to know as much information about that home before you buy it, because after you buy the home, you're going to get some pretty expensive lessons if you don't get an engineer report, if you don't understand the roof, if you don't check. We went to the house 3 or 4 times, and because once you buy it, you don't get a 30-day back guarantee. No, sirree. Once it's yours, it's yours. If you don't check the title, if you don't have an attorney doing their business on your title, and you're stuck with a bad title, guess what? When you try to sell that house, that title is going to be a problem. Yeah. You don't want that problem.
Explain to us what title is. Title report.
Title is the record of the house. So if the house is supposed to be 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and you go to that house and it's 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, or 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, that doesn't match the title. And it's going to raise a red flag when the banks, when you go for a loan and you want the banks to approve it, that raises a red flag. So you have to sell the house as is on the title of record.
Right. So title, in other words, is like a credit report on a person, everything that he owes, any open judgments, credit cards, violations, any type of anything against you. A title report is for a home, okay? So between mortgages on your home, judgments, like I said, anything that you owe, okay? Open records, overall public records like water, taxes, violations, fire department, if there was any history to the house. And then sometimes surveys are included, most likely not, but definitely also certificate of occupancy. What legality does the house have? 1, 2, 3, or more families. And that's your title report. So that is what you get before you close on a property, and then your attorney clears it for you. He ensures that your title is clear to be able to close on a good home, property, or investment, whichever one it is.
You know, for me, before you get to that, before you get to appraisals, before you get to engineer report, the hardest part actually was settling on coming to an agreement on what house we wanted to live in. What about you? When you bought your home for your family, was that easy for you?
So I'm going to take myself quite a few back. I'm not going to speak about the home, or I will, but to give an example of a home ownership for newcomers, the newlyweds, the single moms, single dads, any type of home ownership that you plan to start in your life, you need to, like I said, first and foremost, know your budget, run your financials, and know exactly what you could afford. I personally hate monthly payments. The only monthly payment that I would want is my mortgage. Leave me alone. Don't come to me with creditors. None of that, because not that I forget or don't want to pay. Simply don't be on my schedule to handle it. I don't need it. Of course, when I use it, I ensure that I pay it. But back to the budget, and know your budget. Once you do that and put your finances aside, of course, that's after you ask your questions and go to consult with the banker, so you know your budget. Then your place, okay, so location. They say location, location, location. Okay, so I only want to be in this place. Thankfully, nowadays, New York is on fire in terms of ownership everywhere is just, wow. You don't find, it's like back in the day when they said, okay, I want not north of this point or south of that point. People definitely compromise. So if you know that your budget for specific area, okay, we got a caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Here?
Hello, guys. I saw you on YouTube. I hope I'm not interrupting. I wanted to ask a small question.
Okay.
Yes.
When you're 22 years old and you want to get into real estate development, how do you go about getting into short sales or buying your first short sale?
Okay, do you want to answer that?
Well, you're the queen of short sale. Go ahead, you answer.
So you were asking about an investment property, am I correct?
Yes.
And what was your name?
So I'm 22 years old. I decently am around real estate, but I wanted to get into the development side and going about getting my first short sale. Do you have any tips and tricks into how I could get my first short?
So, okay, so hold on. You were saying that you wanted an investment, you wanted a short sale, you're 22, you want to own a home.
And you want a development?
And a development, yeah. So let's
Sounds crazy, but yeah.
Okay, so first things first, we want it all, but then we don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to be reckless. We want to think, plan a plan, and then take it from there. So, and your name was again, what was that?
My name is Robert.
Okay, Robert, nice to meet you and welcome to our show. So Robert, you're 22 years old. I got to give you, just almost a round of applause.
Yes, this is a great question, Robert.
You are 22 thinking about it, so good for you.
Are you buying all cash?
Right, so next.
Well, debatable. I heard about a hard money loan, so I wanted to see if
that would be considered all cash.
Yes. So going for an all cash deal, you definitely want to ensure that you get a good deal because you have power. Money is power. You're coming in as an all cash buyer. You want to look out for a deal. Next is what can you handle? So when you say I want to develop, I want to buy a short sale, I want to do all these things, but to what capacity?
I got it. So when you're saying you want to develop, so that means you're looking for a property that's not in great condition that you want to renovate. Is that what we mean by development?
Yeah, like a flip.
Okay, so when the first step for this process would be, do you have a hard money lender? Do you have someplace you can go that, let's just say you contact us outside of this podcast and we say, hey, we have a property for hypothetically $200,000. Would you be able to come up with $200,000 from your hard money lender? Do you have that already?
Absolutely.
Right. So you would go that route first, right? But now when you're buying hard money, it's very expensive. So you
get the lending first?
Yes. You can't, everything in real estate, you have to have the money first. You have to know that you can have the money because these offers don't last long. So if we have hypothetically, we have a deal for $200,000. I say, hey, this deal is here. There's going to be 10 people that might go on that deal. And the first one that shows their money that can close right away will get the deal. But if we show you the deal, then you got to go find the money. By the time you come with the money, the deal is gone. So the first step is having access to cash, to being liquid, to close it, so that when you could send your statement showing that you have cash, then you can close the deal on a short sale. But the second part of this is once you tie up that money, it's very expensive. So you want to fix this property and get it on the market as soon as possible, or your overhead is going to be very expensive. So your overhead is going to increase over time. And when you close the deal, the amount of money you're going to walk away with is going to be less, depending on how soon your contractors can fix the property so you can market it. Also, what people tend to do with these deals is have the end buyer before the property is finished. That way you don't have to do open houses, you don't have to show, and that decreases the time that you would have with this hard money. Hard money is nothing to play with. You want to get in, but you want to get out as soon as possible. So the goal is to have the workers, your construction crew, work on this property, fix it, have the end buyer as soon as possible. Before it even hits, you don't even have to. You could market it after the fact, but you want to have your end buyer. Am I correct, Nina?
Yeah.
You want to have your end buyer as soon as possible. Did I answer all your questions?
Yeah, that's something to think about. Thank you. I want to look into it. Definitely what you said about the financials and the lending, I need to look into. So thank you, Chris. Thank you so much.
All right. All right. Have a good evening.
Good evening.
Listen, everyone, I just want to say the number one thing in buying anything is to have your money right.
Yeah.
You don't window shop in real estate. You window shop for fun, but if you're serious about getting a property, have your money right. Because the person that has their money right is going to get the property. Whether it's a short sale or regular sale, it doesn't matter. Have your money right. Because the first one that gets the deal is the person that's able to show that they're approved, show that they have the down payment. And that's why my situation when I was buying that home, it was crazy because he called the mortgage, and then came back like, oh, but you guys are married. Hey, good evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi. So this is a question, well, not really kind of an advice. I purchased a property last year and in April, and now I'm considering on buying an investment property, but my home has only probably got like $80,000 in equity from last year. What would your advice be to me? I mean, I want some passive income. I do want to own another property so I can, have some passive income generating.
Are you married?
No.
Okay, so you will be buying this under your name.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have family with you, or what's your situation?
No, I pay all my bills by myself.
Okay. Mina, do you want to?
Okay, sure. So, hi, Vanessa. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Okay, so we should know that if the first home is in your name. Am I correct?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. So since the first home is under your name, right? It's your primary residence. We call it primary, right?
Yeah.
So now when you want to go for an investment property, normally the second, third, and those properties are only giving you loan to value between 70 to 80%. I hardly ever see 85 even.
Okay.
You need to really think about the percent that you need to come up with. So if you have $80,000 equity.
Yes.
Is that something you've already pulled out of your property, or you need?
No, I haven't pulled it out yet. No.
How long?
I'm just thinking.
How long ago did you purchase this property?
Oh, last year, April 2021.
Yeah, so it's gonna be expensive to buy a second home because your home, like this just hit your credit report also as well, so you're gonna take a hit, and it'll take it takes some time for your score to go back up.
Last year,
right.
April, not
right.
Yeah,
a year. Last year.
Yeah, last year.
A little over a year.
Yeah, a little over a year.
So, but also there are programs. Is your home a single family home, or is
it's a single family home, detached home?
So let's say you're buying an investment and it's not a single family. Let's say you're buying a 2 or a 3 family.
Yeah.
The good thing about those properties is that they generate income that will go towards your income.
Yeah.
So that would help, but it's still going to be expensive because you just bought a home. So you're not going to be a first-time home buyer, and they're going to want to see more money to secure the loan. Am I correct, Nina?
Yeah.
And so that's the key. But if you have cash, if you can show some money up front, I believe is what, 20% or what would it be? Yeah, at least 20% or better. The more money you show, the better the bank is going to feel in giving you another loan.
When you say show, hold on, let me stop. You mean to show, you mean to bring to the table?
Bring to the table, yes. In your account. in your account.
Liquid.
Yes.
Liquid assets.
Yes, because if you go to an emergency and you got to go to 401 or this or that, they don't like that. That's not because you could have complications getting that money.
I
So
understand.
they want to see that you got 6 months plus and money for emergencies on a second home.
Okay.
And then, like I said, if you're renting as well, if you're getting a 2-family.
Sorry, so much noise back here.
No, we on fire. We on fire. That's what it is. But if they see that you have money and you have other, if you're liquid and you can show, you should have no problem getting your second home at any time.
Okay, so I guess I need to, save a little bit more
think about partnerships, right?
Okay.
If you're going on a second, if you have a friend or an acquaintance or someone that you would go into business with, you could partner in on that deal, and you can split the budget, the cost, and you could create a LLC. And there's so many ways that you don't have to do everything. Because also on the flip side, if you do everything yourself, you're going to take all the hits by yourself.
And that's true.
So if you have a team, you could think outside the box.
Right.
Or and on top of that, it's like let's say hypothetically, Mary, she has just for the sake $50,000, and she can front you to $50,000, and you can negotiate her a better rate than you're going to get from the bank, and that could be the cash that goes with your cash to show that you have liquid money up front to buy the home.
Yeah. So that's another good idea. Okay.
Yeah. So tell Mary to give me a call.
Sure. No.
Have a good evening.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we're gonna actually go for a little break. We have this cutoff time that we're gonna just take.
Yeah, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. See you soon.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
And welcome back. We're here, Christina Real Estate Podcast.
Yes, good evening. We're back. We're on fire.
Welcome back, Christina Real Estate Podcast.
You know what I love, Nina?
Yes.
That in real estate, I know the world is black and white, but in real estate, you can be legally creative when pursuing an investment. There's ways in real estate that you could get a house by paying someone's taxes. You could buy something called a tax lien. There's ways in real estate that if you don't have the cash, someone can front you the cash and you work with them as a business partner and create your own split so that everyone's happy, creating a win-win, and you get the property. And then they could become an equity holder, or there's so many different ways to profit and be in the game without having to bankrupt yourself.
Yeah, you mean co-borrowers?
Yes.
With other people?
Right, co-borrowers, even if they're not on the mortgage per se, but you can have a contract.
Yeah.
With the property. The property seals the contract, but you can have an agreement and it's signed by you have an attorney. You can make it everything's above board.
Yeah.
And that way it secures the money that you will pay back for this house that you guys can co-own.
Yeah. So people don't know that also. They say, oh, I only make 60 or 70,000 a year or less. We're not going to be able to afford a home. But then they don't know they could bring up to, ladies and gents, up to 6 co-borrowers. You could buy a home with you plus 5. Okay? So it may not be the greatest thing to bring in all these partners, but sometimes when people want to live together with their daughters, their siblings, or in-laws, they may be able to put this plan together. And then all live at a 2, 3, 4, even 5-family home, even though after 4, it's already a different type of loan. You're no longer residential.
You're commercial.
Yeah. So if you're planning to purchase and you feel like you're not good enough to do this on your own, you should totally get co-borrowers. Specifically, if they're going to live in that other unit, but do not take other homeowners with you together as co-borrowers if they're not going to live with you. Not a good thing. I hardly ever seen a successful co-borrowers who don't live together. It always ends up in a dispute because after all, one is there, one isn't. Why you're doing more, I'm doing less. Not a good choice. So if you guys are going to live together, definitely do that partnership. You can also use them, and then down the line, you make more and you refinance, take them out of the deed. Of course, everything has to be on paper. Always have things on paper. I always tell everyone, even with my own brother, I have things on paper.
Yeah.
So it's not about not trusting.
It's business.
Business is business.
Business is business.
Yeah. So yeah, to purchase, you don't have to be on your own. You can take co-borrowers. Also, that's something that a banker will be able to advise you on. Speaking to bankers, okay, so we are affiliated with some bankers. We don't do really mortgages. We don't do them at all. But it's important to check out different banks. Some bankers have numerous banks that they work with, and some bankers are the bank themselves.
Yes.
Okay, they just service the paperwork, the documents, and the process, but then their backbone is the bank. So it's really important to just compare places. So
shop around.
Yeah, for sure.
Shop around and see what works best with you, who will work best with you, and what you have. And also communication is very important, how they speak with you, if they speak your language.
Yeah.
That's key. But I was excited by that call. She bought a house a year ago and is looking for her second home. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And then next thing you know, she's looking for her third home. And it's an exciting process. And also being a landlord, also understanding taxes and this. So, you benefit in real estate in ways that it's not just about money. Sometimes it can create freedom. Sometimes you can get into different properties and then create a income that becomes residual. Yeah. And that residual income can create freedom. Yeah. And you have more time with your family, more time with your friends, and then you can do things that you probably couldn't do when you work in a 9-to-5 or when you have a traditional job. You can create a flexibility, or you could create a backup to go with your 9-to-5 or whatever your means of income is. You could add to it. Yeah. So that when you retire, you have a nest egg and you have you diversify your income.
Yeah, exactly what was written in the back of our business cards.
Yes.
Work now like no one else could.
Yeah.
So you can live later like no one else will. That is to put it all into it now. Just work it and do your best. Don't waste your time. Every second is money that you could be making and building up your future. So be on top of your game and make sure that you do it all now.
And some people worry about the interest rate or the prices but that's if you would have bought property 10 years ago and you paid your mortgage and you didn't take anything from it, right now you probably would be at the end of your payment on that house.
Yeah, for sure.
And now you have the houses now that you buy, and you start building equity and you start maintaining that house, and then you get the next house, and then in 10 years, the amount of equity that you have would be really nice. Yeah. And the great thing about equity, if you have multiple properties, you can diversify and get into commercial real estate using your portfolio.
Yeah. Sorry.
So Yeah, so it's just interesting to start. You start basic, you start with a starter home, you start with a condo or co-op, and then you grow within real estate to different opportunities and commercial real estate. Um, on in the future, we're going to talk about my passion, which is affordable housing. That's another great way to create opportunities for people to. I love helping people who don't make a lot of money find a way to own a property or get their first property and supporting them through the process. And but the difference with affordable housing, you own it, but it comes with rules and stipulations so that you can't just turn around because they're lower than value than your traditional home, so they don't want you selling it and then you walking away with a profit of the regular value. Yeah. But it's a great way to get in the game.
Yeah. Totally agree with you. So that's why we were speaking earlier about paying rent of someone else's property, paying rent towards someone else's mortgage. It's just something you do only when you have to. But look into those options and definitely put together a plan for you to purchase a property now, because you'll think of them 30 years down the line.
Yes. Yeah. And it's interesting when you get into real estate, how many friends and family come with you. You know, it's rare that somebody just goes it alone. You know, when people see you buying a house and they come to your house, it's like, oh my gosh, you did it. How do we do it? Yeah. And then they give Chris and Nina a call and we'll make your dreams come true.
Yes, for sure. Overall, we help a lot of homeowners. Yes. And unfortunately, in foreclosure, a lot of people took a break from the mortgage payments. A lot of people are lost. They don't know what to do. Maybe we should speak about it in the next show.
Yes, yes, yes.
People need to know their options. People need to know that it's not the end of the world. They don't even have to sell their home if they haven't paid in that forbearance plan. That's the plan that COVID offered us, unfortunately, where you take a break. So a lot of homeowners are just bugging out over the fact that their existing statement is now saying, hey, what's up? Everything is due. Either pay up or we'll take it to foreclosure, which is very hectic. And I feel them and see them. I get phone calls all day long coming from the short sale side of the business. I was trying to get out of it at some point a couple of years ago, but then I can't say no to homeowners for asking for assistance, because sometimes it's not even for the money. Sometimes there is no money in helping, you know, a homeowner. Because, by the way, who pays us when it comes to a homeowner in foreclosure? The banks. Okay, so the banks pay us to help their clients, and then eventually, when we sell, at the time of the closing, that's when we get paid.
And the reason why they pay us is because most homeowners are ashamed or are afraid, and they disappear from the banks.
Yeah.
And so we are the middle people to marry the two back together and create a solution to get the mortgage back on track.
Right.
And let me tell you something. When you're paying rent and you need money for medical assistance, or that rent gives you nothing.
No.
But you can take a loan you can take some of your equity and use it for emergencies.
Yeah.
So you can get, and then there's also something called a reverse mortgage. And that's when you reach a point where you have so much equity that the tides turn and the bank starts sending you checks back so that you can start reaping the profits from being a great, being a responsible person and paying your mortgage through the years. Yeah. So there's so many reasons why no one should live on this earth and not own a property.
Yeah. Another good point about you making with the medical assistance. When you own a home, you also have the option to borrow from the government without having equity. That's one way you were mentioning. You have the equity. But if you don't necessarily have to go to your bank or your home you can simply call up and ask for assistance. And what they do is they place an automatic lien against your property. Okay, social services lien, it's called social services lien. They go anywhere from, hi, I don't have money to pay my gas bill this month, to an emergency. God forbid you need some type of an emergency and you don't have that financial power to cover it. They could cover it for you, and then they place an automatic lien on your home because they don't necessarily know how much it's going to end up. If it's a $1,500 bill or a $50,000 bill, they put that $200,000 lien against your property, and then eventually when they sell their home, we need to do what we call a satisfaction of that lien, where we request a payoff, and then they send you the true amount of what that was, and then that gets paid off at the time of the closing. Those government agencies are there for you. Many other type of assistance is available. It's just that is the main emergency way that you will turn in case, again, you're a homeowner, and in case you need it, it's there for you. But if you're renting, it's not. So you need to think about that.
And there is so much support from homeowners. It's just this communication. There are groups, there are associations there, because everybody wants to take care of their community. Everybody wants their community to thrive. And when everyone is paying their mortgage, they're paying their taxes. When you're paying your taxes, you're contributing to the school systems. You're contributing to the highways, to the roads, to the garbage removal. The real estate is such an important aspect of life. And the money that it generates, it benefits everyone, because people have kids that go to school, that, and like I said, you need your trash picked up. Everybody wants to live in a clean neighborhood. And when you own, everyone takes care of their property. You go by, you see some of the landscaping in some of these places. And it's just, owning a home creates a sense of pride, of dignity that is just awesome to witness, to experience. And I recommend it for everyone. If you're out there and you don't own a home, call me. Let's get you a home. Let's get you this experience. And when you're shopping for the home, you will see the different types of homes, the different types of landscapes, the different people that own a home, the communities, and real estate brings people together. What do you say, Nina?
Yeah, because other people who, those who are living in a rental, a couple of times I heard them say, oh, I don't have to deal with no taxes, gardening, insurances, anyone falls, it's not my liability. But then, you forget that you have to move every year or every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to think about schlepping your whole family. If you got kids, or if you have a car, to find parking, and to find, backyard space, laundry, storage. So, we got a call.
Good evening, Chris and Nina.
Yes, good evening. My name is Josh, and I come across this podcast on Facebook because somebody shared it. And I do have this question. My wife and I, we own a home, and we have about $450,000 in equity. And I wonder, how can you guys, we are very interested in getting a property, another property. And we would like to, really interested, we would like to know, how can you help make this happen?
Okay. Hi,
or at least guide us
Good evening,
in the
Josh.
right direction.
Hi, Josh. Nice to meet you, and welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So you're saying that you said $450,000 in equity on your existing home.
Correct.
Okay. And you would like to invest that in a second home or investment property?
Yeah, more like an investment property.
Okay, one moment. We can't go on to the next slide. Okay, so that investment property, is that something that you've already found, or is it something that you're looking to do?
It's something I'm thinking about and looking to do, yes.
Okay, have you ever done an investment property before, or is that your first time?
That would be the first time.
First time, okay. So did you already calculate that budget of how much this property is going to cost you monthly? Did you ask for expenses?
Is it going to be one family, two? Yeah.
Well, I guess it would have to be either 2-family and up, because if it's an investment property, I think would be better to do a 2-family.
Okay.
2-family or higher.
450,000 is a pretty big amount. You may not have to use all this at once, because your loan to value will be most likely between 70 and 80%. So meaning, if let's say the property is $1 million, right? They're not going to give you 90% or an 85% loan to value. They will give you 800 or 700 or 750 out of that million. Okay. So now all you have to put down, in addition to your between 200,000 and 300,000, is your down payment and your closing costs, right? So then you have to calculate what's your income and expenses to be able to see if that's something that's worth it. Overall in New York State, I should say, a good amount of cap rate is between 4 and 6%. If you find something higher than that, that's something that you should grab, of course, to your capability. So if you're looking for a rental property, and again, I don't know whether it's residential that you're looking, you said 2 families, so you can, you need to put your ins and your outs on a piece of paper and see what the best plan is.
And are you looking in New York City, New York State? Where are you looking?
It would be in New York. I'm in New York City.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that specific property that you've already found for yourself, right? Is that already vacant? Is it occupied?
No, I mean, I have not found I have not
okay.
found a property yet. I'm just thinking about it, so I just have a question to see.
Gotcha. So my first suggestion is finding something that is close to you. I don't believe in investing in far places, only because you need to be able to manage it. In case there is a problem, you need to be able to go for it. So it's good to find something close to you. Secondly, are you looking for, a commercial or a residential? If you go for a residential, you want to make sure that you have the time to run tenants, to make sure that they pay on time, to be a super, okay? Of course, sometimes people just give a break to one of the tenants and they said, hey, you're going to be responsible for the garbage, for the cleanup,
for the shovel, for snow removal.
Yeah, so for maintaining the property, and then making sure there are no violations. And if it's a commercial, it's a whole other ballgame. So yeah, so between finding a place close to you, to the type of investment that you want to do, it's always good to do research. And of course, relates to,
yes, you can contact us at
yeah, you can write us in. We have our Instagram, Facebook, or simply
Chris _ Nina Real Estate Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should be able to be found on Google once
yes.
you do Chris and Nina. So
yes.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Any other questions you have for us?
No, for now, that's it.
I mean,
all right. Well, we'll speak. Yeah, we'll
There's
speak
so
to you.
much to it.
Yes.
But nice to meet you, though.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So.
Hi. Are we on with someone else?
No. So that was an awesome call, and we love helping people. Any questions? Anyone? Feel free to reach us on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can type Chris and Nina Real Estate Podcast. You'll find us. We'll be here every Thursday night, 7 to 8 p.m. Like I said, if you don't own a property, or you do own a property, or you're interested in moving from one property to another, we can help you with whatever your needs are. And if you need help dealing with the banks to get back your property, we will gladly take on a fight with you and for you.
Yes, for sure. Even if you lost your property, there's a way to
get it back.
Okay, so there's a lot to it. Don't lose hope ever. Always know that there's a solution. And of course, even if you don't need anything and simply have a question, your knowledge is power. So feel free to reach out to us. It was really great being here today.
Yes.
Although we have about 2 minutes left, right? What is it over there? Let's see.
Yeah, we got about 5.
Yeah. Okay.
We have 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, we have a good 5 minutes. If you guys want to give us a call, but
there we go. Oh.
See that? Okay.
That was a trick. So Nina, how you feeling about the first podcast?
You know what?
Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon.
You got it? Right.
Good evening, Chris and Nina.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. How are you, sir?
Great. How are you?
I'm okay. I just happy to find you guys on YouTube, and I was looking at the topic, but right now I got a few questions. I hope you guys are ready to answer these questions.
Oh, we have about 3 minutes.
3 minutes. I'm glad I got through. You see, the thing is, I was looking to purchase my first home, and I was working a few agents, and they more or less they weren't helping me out like I want to. So I decided, okay, let me go get my real estate license. Now I took the test, and I have my license, and now I don't know what's the next move. I'm finding out I have to be sponsored by someone or something like that. Are you guys brokers?
Yes, we are brokers. We can help you with that.
I got you.
Yes. So that is. So you have congratulations.
Yes.
You got your license. That's the first step to financial freedom.
Yes.
So where are you located?
I'm located in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, that's the best place on earth.
Okay.
Brooklyn in the house. Oh my God.
Okay. Do you guys have an office here in Brooklyn?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So I spoke with a few different brokers. I'm not really feeling them. I'm just really looking for a place to get started because I want to make sure that I have the right education and being led down the correct path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
why don't you come down and meet us and have all your questions answered in person?
That sounds fantastic. Where can I find you guys? What's your location? Well, Google us on Nina underscore Chris and Nina.
Chris and Nina.
Yes, Chris and Nina. Real Estate Podcast.
I'm Googling right now.
Yes, send us your information and we'll be in touch with you.
I greatly appreciate that. I will get in touch with you guys shortly.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you and have a great evening and congratulations.
You guys have a great evening.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. So when you Google us, you actually don't see much. We're gonna
we are working on our internet presence at the moment, but you will find us and we will be found.
Okay, so we have the Instagram, Chris and Nina Real Estate Podcast.
Yes.
Underscore in between every word.
Yes, Chris _ Nina _ Real Estate Podcast.
Yes. So otherwise, we can be found, I guess, on Google. We'll work on this week.
And if you don't catch us and you don't see that, you will see us same time, same night, 7 p.m. every Thursday. We are going to bring some properties with us. Oh my gosh, we got commercial, we got residential, we got mansions. We have so much inventory that so much. There's
even
always
a little bit of rentals.
Yes, some rentals. There's always something to buy, and there's always something that someone is selling.
Yes, for sure. So it was really fun. Before anything, it was fun. Thank you guys very much. Looking forward to next week, and reach out to us if you have any questions.
Yes.
Okay? All right.
God bless and good night.
Thank you. Good night. What do you think?